All right, so we're going to continue on using the Pythagorean theorem, although today isn't necessarily about the Pythagorean theorem, so you need to go ahead and pause and copy this down. A coordinate plane is a grid formed by the intersection of two number lines, and we call those two number lines the y and x-axis. The y-axis being the vertical number line, the x-axis being the horizontal number line. The axes are divided into quadrants. They go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then O, this point right here indicates where the origin is. This is where the axes intersect. That is the ordered pair of 0, 0. So you heard me say ordered pair, and you may be thinking to yourself, well, that sounds familiar, but I can't quite remember what it is. Well, this is what it is. An ordered pair is an xy value. It gives the coordinates of a location of a point. The x-coordinate tells the number of horizontal units a point is from the origin, whether it be negative, where that would go to the left, or if it's positive, it would go to the right. So that's just negatives go this way, positives go that way from this point 0. The y-coordinate tells the number of vertical units. Okay, so if it's positive, it goes up. If it's negative, it goes down. And you use this as a description of a location on the coordinate plane. But before we get into that, I am a big Jeopardy fan. I like watching it. I like impressing my wife with all my useless knowledge. I have plenty of useless knowledge. And this question came up, so teenage girls can't do this. For those of you not familiar with Jeopardy, you get the answer to the question, and then you have to ask the question, or the question is the answer. It's kind of backwards. So, what teenage girls can't do this? What is even? I'm just going to let you sit in that for a minute. Think about it. I can't even cope with you guys. All right, finding distance on a coordinate plane. So it says find the distance between point C, which is 2, 2, and point D, which is 6, 5. The easiest way to find the distance on a coordinate plane is to first draw the 2 points. So here I have 2, 2, and here I have 6, 5, and then set up a right triangle. Okay, so here for this horizontal distance, I go 1, 2, 3, 4 over. And this vertical distance, I go 1, 2, 3 down. So that sets up a right triangle, and whatever this is, the hypotenuse, is my distance. So in other words, 3 squared plus 4 squared is going to equal c squared. Well, 3 squared is 9, plus 4 squared is 16. That is 25. And the square root of 25 is 5. So that distance is 5. So that's how you use the Pythagorean theorem to find the distance on a coordinate plane. So here's a problem for you to try. Take a look at that and try to find it on your own. Whoops. There we go. All right, find the distance between 2, 1 and 7, 9. I encourage you to draw a picture. And I didn't tell you to do this, but you need to round this one. So round to the nearest tenth. And when you round to the nearest tenth for this one, you get approximately 9.4. All right, so hopefully you got that correct. If not, go back and find your mistake. All right, so here it's the same kind of problem, but now it's a word problem. It says the library is 5 miles north of your house. The post office is 6 miles east of your house. To the nearest mile, how far is the library? So again, draw a picture for these problems. You are not above drawing a picture. I have a master's in math, and I still draw pictures to solve problems. You should too. All right, so here I have my house. So the library is 5 miles north of that. And then I have my home, and the post office is 6 miles of that. Now notice here it says to the nearest mile, so we go ahead and set this up, and we have 5 squared plus 6 squared is going to equal this unknown value, which is the hypotenuse, and that's c squared. So 25 plus 36 equals c squared, and that is 61. And then using my calculator, I find the square root of 61. Rounded to the nearest mile is C is approximately 8 miles. Okay, so again, we're just using the Pythagorean theorem to find the distance of this by using this as a leg length and this as a leg length. So here's one for you to try. Go ahead and take a moment and try that problem. And hopefully on this one, after you round to the nearest mile, you would say about 6 miles. All right, so that is it for today. Very, very short lesson. Hopefully you took good notes. This is your last section before your test on this chapter, so it may be a good idea to go back and start reviewing some of those notes, and also maybe going through some of the old videos. I'm going to leave those up on my blog and on YouTube for you. So just check those out if you need to, and I'll see you in class.